pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you very much, Jim.
We have the minutes of March 21st. Do we have a motion to approve those?
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Painter.
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey.
Aye.
Mr. Yule.
Abstain.
And I believe we have our proclamation.
We do.
Tell you what,
wanna join
I'm
us,
gonna
or-
stay here if you
Okay.
guys don't mind.
That's all right.
It's more work.
No problem. You should. Kathleen, good to see you this morning. You are here to accept this proclamation.
Motion.
Fantastic. Proclamation, National County Government Month, April 2018. The nation's 3,069 counties, serving more than 300 million Americans, provide essential services to create healthy, safe, vibrant, and economically resilient communities. And whereas Clermont County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health and well-being, safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. Whereas the National Association of Counties, NACO, is encouraging counties to focus on the most innovative programs and services that strengthen our communities. And whereas Clermont County prides itself on its commitment to our citizens, the stewardship of our resources, and the continuous search for innovation. And whereas, in order to remain healthy, vibrant, safe, and economically competitive, America's counties provide public health, justice, environmental stewardship, emergency management, and economic services that play a key role in everything from residents' daily health to disaster response. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to actively promote programs and services to the public we serve. And whereas Clermont County will host a series of open houses for its citizens in April to inform them about county services, programs, and innovations. Now therefore, we, the Board of County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2018 as National County Government Month in Clermont County, and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to participate in County Government Month activities. It's signed the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, Edwin H. Humphrey, President, David L. Painter, Vice President, and David H. Ubel, Member. Kathleen, on behalf of Clermont County and Government Month, I present you this certificate. Thank you.
Commissioner.
You bet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate it.
Do you have a few words?
Yeah, let me talk a little bit about this.
She came prepared, no doubt.
She does.
Well, first of all, I want to thank all the commissioners for this proclamation. My name is Kathleen Williams, and I work for the Office of Public Information. And as the proclamation said, for the last many years, April has been National County Government Month, and we have participated in this for the last several years. So we have a number of activities and events lined up during the month of April, and our parks are involved with activities this year, I'm really happy to say. So I'll just kind of go through them quickly, but on Saturday, April 7th, the Sycamore Park, which is one of the parks in our park district, is holding what they call a Nest Fest and egg hunt. And on Saturday, April 7th, a couple hours after that, our new the new managers at the county animal shelter, Clermont Animal Care, is holding an open house, and we call it Meet Your New Pet. So we hope that we get people turning out there to see what dogs and cats are available for adoption, and also learning more about the county animal shelter. On Thursday, April 2nd, the Opiate Task Force is having a special meeting at Batavia Township Community Center. This is in concert with another event that we'll be talking about in a couple weeks, but it's an effort to thank those who have been on sort of the front lines, first responders, and everyone who's been involved in the fight against opiates in Clermont County in the last several years. So this will be an opportunity to meet the people on the task force, find out some of the initiatives that Clermont County's been involved in, and also we're offering light refreshments then. And then Saturday, April 14th is the opening day at Shiloh Lock Park 34, or Shiloh Lock 34 Park, with outdoor activities and refreshments as well. And then that's half the month. And thank you, Commissioner.
You're welcome.
We have an open house on Thursday, April 19th at Clermont Public Health in the afternoon. And then a little bit later that day, actually in the evening, we have an open house with the at the Sheriff's Office, where the K-9 team will be doing a demonstration, and their SWAT team will be doing a demonstration, and we'll get to see their robot in action. So I think there'll be a lot of fun activities there for kids as well as adults. On Thursday, April 24th, we'll be doing a tour at the Bob McEwen Water Treatment Plant, and we'll have representatives from our Water Department, our Office of Environmental Quality, and Soil and Water District on hand. And then that evening, or that late that afternoon, Clermont DD will be doing a tour of its facilities that its clients will be taking people through to inform us more about what DD is involved in. So, and also, we didn't have room for it, but it's going to be publicized. The spring litter cleanup is Saturday, April 21st. And of course, we hope that lots of people volunteer for that. So there's lots going on in April, and the public can find out about this on our website and through our Facebook page, and we'll be publicizing this throughout the month of April. So we invite the public to come and participate and learn more about Clermont County. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fantastic.
And we have a consent agenda. It was prepared for us and sent out last Friday. If there are any items that need to be pulled and talked about separately, we can do that. Else, I will accept a motion to approve the consent agenda as prepared.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda for March 28th, 2018.
Second?
Hubel,
Yes.
Mr. Gaines,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Yes, aye. And then the non-consent agenda starts with item 7 on page 3. And it's a resolution 40-18 to pay our bills in the amount of $1,511,932.31.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Painter,
Yes.
Mr. Hubel,
Yes.
Mr. Humphrey,
Aye. And item 8. Jeanette?
This is an odd one, so you may have some questions on this, but on the recommendation of myself, Jeanette Nichols, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, with the concurrence of Tom Ivo, County Administrator, to adopt Resolution 041-18, resolving to authorize Edwin H. Humphrey, President of the Board of Clermont County Commissioners, to execute a quitclaim deed identified as Exhibit 3 attached thereto and made a part thereof, thereby transferring any interest it may have in the real property located at 2432 Beachmont Avenue, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45230, Anderson Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, and identified by Hamilton County, Ohio parcel number 003-0003-0019-00 to Trans Ohio Companies, Inc., an Ohio corporation. Its tax mailing address is 3700 Mount View Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43220, pursuant to and in compliance with the stated terms and conditions more fully described therein.
Jeanette, this property was this one claimed by the Sheriff's Office, or what was this one?
This was a situation very similar to the condo that we had a few months ago,
Okay.
which the narcotics unit claimed this property that was in Hamilton County as part of a drug transaction. There were two owners, they were brothers. Both agreed to enter a plea, and this, by agreement, they were going to transfer the property. One of the brothers was sentenced, and in that judgment entry, the property, he transferred his interest. For various reasons, the other party that had an interest, the brother, was not sentenced until a year later. So we didn't have an interest in the property, we didn't own the property at that time. In between that time, the property was vandalized, it was stripped of all useful material. It did not have any value, so the decision was made not to go forward. So we never perfected our interest, we never took claim to the property. But because there is a judgment entry where one of the parties did agree to forfeit their interest in the party to the county, we're now faced with the situation. This was sold in, the property sold in a sheriff's sale, I believe. And
In Hamilton, yeah.
in Hamilton County, this was not discovered, our interest in the property, even though we don't believe there is really an interest, wasn't discovered until recently, and they're trying to perfect it. So we weren't notified prior to the sale, and we could have just signed off at that point.
Great, thank you.
So Hamilton
So-
County actually sold it in a sheriff's sale.
Correct.
How did they take possession of it? Did they take possession of it because the taxes were never paid? Is that what?
That's
the-
correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So they took
And-
possession of it on a tax?
Correct, and this company that bought it, then did a title search, and they discovered our interest in it, and we were notified.
Do we have any idea what they bought it for?
We do, it ended up being, I hate to give you an amount because I don't know exactly.
That's okay. It's,
I could find out if you'd like to know.
Love to know. Tax reel, it's a third of an acre. It was built in 1929. It's on the books for $78,500. It is in Anderson Township. So its location is,
It's a good location.
it is
So it's, how many acres?
a third of an acre.
Third of an acre, okay.
but it went to auction, so
Yeah,
it's whatever the market
it's whatever the market.
there.
But keep in mind, it went to auction when Clermont County had an actual interest in it. So really, it's not a viable sale at this point. You know, what they're trying to do is they're trying to clear the deed for, it looks like, and I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Jeanette, they're trying to clear the deed for an actual mortgage company. Trans-Ohio Companies has actually bought it.
I believe that's correct.
So they've bid on it on a sheriff's sale, but the bottom line was, since we had an interest in it, really Hamilton County had no ability to really sell that property.
That's correct. We never perfected our interest because the decision was made not to go forward. This was, I want to say, 3 years ago, maybe. And so we didn't file anything with the recorder's office. We just kind of let it go.
So when they did the
So-
deed search for the tax sale, there was nothing entered in the Hamilton
Correct.
County
And-
tax record.
And I don't believe that they had the first party sign anything over. It's just in the judgment entry. Those were the only documents. So nothing was ever recorded. There weren't any additional steps taken to perfect the county's interest because, again, the decision was made to not go forward.
So should we have a half interest in the sale price?
At least.
That's not something I looked into, and we can do that. Again, I don't know how valid our interest would be because of the fact that we did not perfect it by filing.
What did we
anything.
need to do to perfect it?
We would have had to have filed the interest at least, at the very, very minimum, the judgment entry with the, in the recorder's office in Hamilton County, I believe, to show that we had an interest against the property. There were also, the two brothers owned it. In order to clear the title to, their spouses would have had to sign off on any dower interest that they had.
I would suggest we table
What's that?
this. I'd suggest that we table.
Yep. Mr. Painter suggests we table it. How do you feel? I agree. We should table this and come back to it at a future date.
That's fine. And I will try and find out some of those answers,
Okay.
Okay.
how we would be able to protect you guys if we can even do that.
Okay.
I mean, had it not been for the second brother who had a ownership in this, we would have taken it a year ago, and it would have been sold at our sheriff's sale, correct? And we would have received
been their
100%?
sheriff's
We would have taken, this was, the first one was, I think, in 2013. So,
Okay.
it would have been several years ago.
But we would have taken it and taken 100% of the proceeds from the sheriff's sale, or paid off whatever the taxes were in Hamilton County. In this case, Hamilton County is getting 100% of the proceeds, correct?
Right.
We would have been responsible for the taxes on the property
Correct.
in Hamilton
We-
County
we-
unless we had it filed as an exempt parcel for government purposes, which you have to question what we would have done with a
Right.
Hamilton County parcel. So we would have been responsible, and then potentially we
And
could have
if-
tried to
and if
sell it
it's
at that
sold
time.
for just the amount of the taxes, then we have no interest because the taxes come before our interest, so.
Right.
But you can look into that for us and get back to us.
But I think, but the process would have been is we would have passed a resolution to actually take this property.
To, the court would have doesn't the court do that? And then we would have done a resolution to declare it obsolete to potentially sell it,
We,
like we did the condo.
we really didn't even know about it.
Oh, I know, but
until
if we did,
Just the, when the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office contacted our prosecutor's office regarding it, we had no knowledge of it until after it was already sold. And the
It-
judgment entries are exhibits to this particular resolution that just indicates that, in the resolution itself, that the Clermont County Narcotics Unit determined they had no interest in, even though it was given to us in fee simple, by one brother, in the judgment entry. He forfeited it, is that correct, Jeanette?
That's
The one brother, yes.
when the second entry happened that released the rest of the interest,
That did,
could we have taken ownership of it at that time, similar to what we had to do with the condo?
there would have been several other steps, but at that point, the two primary owners of the property would have forfeited their interest. We would have to get both of their spouses to sign, we would have to
Then-
take several other steps.
But this is no different, Judy, correct me if I'm wrong, this is no different than a piece of property that you have two mortgages on. For you to be able to sell it
It's
as a
conjoined,
short sale,
right.
you have to get the,
Property owners.
you have to get
Dollar
the
interest.
permission by
I mean, I
both,
didn't see the
lien
the
holders.
deed itself, it was, the claim deed was very simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like it was sold for $60,000, $60,500. This may, when the decision was made to forfeit it,
We know how much taxes were due on it?
it appears that there were 21,000 approximately in taxes. There were court costs, approximately $2,000. This may be a situation, it did stay in the brothers' ownership. They may have fixed it up, after, in the subsequent years.
But the sale price on it was 60,000.
That's correct.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
very good, thank you. Come back to us and let us know. I think we have one other item to discuss. Clermont County Hospital came to us yesterday afternoon after close of business, and
Monday night.
was it Monday night? I thought it was Sunday, Tuesday night. Okay. Came to us earlier in the week and asked for our letter of support for, go ahead and,
It was a letter, they're looking for in essence, the county's support to the hospital in the terms of they call it a 340B program, which is a federal program that allows a hospital to get discounted drugs, with the understanding that they will provide services to low-income people that are not qualified for Medicaid under the federal program. Medicaid or Medicare under the federal programs. So in order to qualify, what it appears to me that they're doing is they're applying to be one of these hospitals. In the definition, the federal definitions of a entity, they have to either be designated, it has to be a county hospital, or they have to be designated a county hospital by legislation, or they have to be under contract with a county. Not specifically a county, it could be a local government or a state government, so any government entity. So apparently they are not, and they are ready to apply for this to try and become part of this program. The requirement is that we have a contract, so they've drafted an agreement. The agreement is very simple. Pretty much it says we have no obligation, but we're in agreement that they will provide healthcare services to low-income individuals residing in Clermont County. The other thing that they want us to execute as part of their application is a certification that there is a contract between the hospital and the county. They required, like Ed said, they just notified us earlier this week, and they are looking for this authorization, concurrence, whatever you want to call it, support by April 1st. They said they could wait till April 3rd for the actual signatures, but we don't have a session between now and then, so today is the only day to even talk about this. I did invite him to come to session, Mr. Kruger. Justin Kruger. But I hadn't heard back from him because that was just a late night email last night and early this morning back to him. I didn't invite Ernie because Mr. Kruger didn't say he was coming up. So the issue that we have is what other liabilities does this contract, just by nature of having a contract with the hospital, imply on us? And that's what, Ernie's a little concerned about that. I talked to him briefly this morning. I know the program, based on looking at it, is one that the Government Accounting Office is concerned about. The growth in the program and what they're seeing as some lack of oversight. There's been a lot of growth in hospital entities that are enrolled. There's been a lot of growth in pharmacies that are enrolled, tremendous levels. And I know it's on, it's being addressed right now at the federal level. So one of the items that I saw as far as the way to get this program back under control at the federal level is they may put a moratorium on new hospitals signing up for it. And I'm believing, he hasn't confirmed, but I believe that's why they're so impatient and they want to get this done, is they want to get into this program before. There are some things about the program that, you have an agreement with the hospital to provide services. It doesn't say at what level the services are going to be provided. It pretty much says they will provide services, but it's up to their board of directors at the hospital.
So it's for low to moderate income people who don't currently qualify for Medicare, Medicaid, or
Right,
Medicare,
to get either free or reduced level of services, free or reduced price services, not level of service, free or reduced price services.
And it's for the pharmacy side of it,
It is for they get a discount on the pharmacy side.
medication.
That's
Right.
all it is.
And the drug providers have to be enrolled in this program, the manufacturers of the drugs, in order to get themselves set up for Medicare reimbursement. So that's their incentive to reduce to be part of this program. The hospital can actually make some money on this program because they get the reduced price, but then they can turn around and bill commercial insurance at a standard price for those drugs.
So basically, it allows their pharmacy to buy these drugs at a reduced price. But,
For a certain population.
well, I think
I
that's,
believe they can provide it,
that's one of the things that GAO pointed out, was that they get it at a free and reduced price, but yet they still have the ability, if they choose to charge for those drugs at the full price, which gives them a much larger profit margin. The other thing that they don't do is GAO basically pointed out that they don't define what the level of care is for low income and moderate income individuals. So in other words, they can make money off of the price of drugs, and they can turn around and not guarantee, they can give low income people a very, very low moderate type of coverage or help, but then they can turn around and still retain their 501c3 status. So they've got some question. That's not to say, GAO is just making their opinion on it and saying, look, we see some areas here that need to be tightened up. That's all. It doesn't mean,
And we've been
that
to
that's fair.
several ribbon cuttings of
Right.
facilities that Clermont Hospital is bringing forward for low and reduced income. One was at the hospital, one was at the elementary school for West Clermont School. So they are creating facilities for low-income families and children.
and GAO pointed out that the opportunity here is clearly seen by a graph that shows the participating hospitals, and that has went just exponentially, up. The minute that this 501c status is seen and the reduced price of drugs to a hospital's pharmacy, then all hospitals want to participate. So they're all following in this. And basically what they're saying is, we know there's a loophole here that exists, or there's an opportunity here, and we're just telling you that it should be addressed so that it's tighter and that care is guaranteed.
So here we are today. Is the application deadline the 3rd of April, or?
Technically, it's the 1st of April. He said he could push signatures till the 3rd.
And I understand
don't have a meeting.
CCAO.
We don't have a meeting, so today, if you want to agree to this and execute the agreement, I would still need prosecutor approval of it. I have not had that, but I do have a motion and drafted if you want to pursue that way.
So we could,
But we don't need
For a
prosecutor
special
approval.
session
You-
too,
Before the 3rd,
before the 3rd.
and make sure, because it was short notice last night that he had to have this, and maybe he's not available to come speak today. I tried both phone and email to him.
So you could do it on Monday, Tuesday, that's definitely before the,
How many years has this program been in place? This is like they're
Since-
just about potentially cutting it off now, which makes me think it's been on for some time.
According to the summary from GAO, this has been in place since the early 90s, 1992. It's been modified, I believe, a little bit, but it's kind of on the radar, like I said, right now.
Given the rush of all this, I mean, I would say we punt this season and look at next season and prepare for it, but I'm not gonna rush into something and have special meetings for signatures. Spend a lot of time and money.
He potentially could get another government entity to enter into a contract with him and make him
Like,
someone from the state level,
Okay.
local government. I mean, if he wants to go to a township.
Can we get Suki, can we get the prosecutor to review it and then? if
He
we
has
get
it.
that Information and go from there?
We can do that. Yeah. He has it, and we can ask for a formal
Right.
approval of it.
Obviously, if he comes back with a negative opinion on it, then there's no
Yeah.
reason to even discuss a special session. If he would come back with a very favorable opinion on it, then maybe we want to do that.
Well, like I mentioned, he's worried a little bit about the liability just by having an agreement between us and the hospital that says we're addressing generically low-income people. The specifics is what GAO had an issue with. They're saying they are going to be a part of this program because they're going to provide us some level of service to these people, and that some level has not been defined. It's not in our agreement with them. It's up to them. So I'll get a formal opinion.
Two facilities that have had ribbon cuttings that are for this.
So they should have a higher level of services they're providing.
or at least define it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do we want to set a special meeting for Monday the 2nd at 10?
Well, it's based on what the prosecutor decides if it's worth
Well,
pursuing.
but we would set the meeting now for 10 o'clock on Monday and cancel it if,
Judy?
you have 24 hours to set a special session, so you have all the way until Friday to set it, if you wanted to have it on Monday the 2nd.
but don't we have to meet in order to set a special meeting?
No,
Okay. So the chair can simply set a special meeting.
So we can go to, what I think Judy's saying, we can go to the prosecutor, get his opinion, get back with you, and determine whether a special session's needed sometime before Friday.
Okay. My thought was we establish the meeting for the 2nd and we cancel it if we need to. And that way today we're going on record as setting meeting for the 2nd at 10 o'clock, and if you get that negative opinion, then we can cancel it. You can cancel the meeting.
Okay.
What, it's just a thought. I'm one of 3. Do we want to do that or not?
Until we know that it's even needed, we only need a 24-hour notice to set the meeting, so I would just kind of wait and see.
Okay.
Okay.
When you set it, you have to indicate what the specific purpose is.
Yep.
And that specific purpose would be to address this issue only.
Yep.
And you have to notify the press that that is what the special, and anyone else that's asked what the purpose is.
Okay.
Okay.
Public?
So that, I believe that concludes our business for today.
Participation?
Public participation. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to us now?
Howard?
Howard? You are the official media today.
If not, then I'll,
Anything to say, I'm sorry. Just,
What's happening at the Veterans Administration? What are you guys doing that,
well, we're just gearing up for Memorial Day, and we've had, Vietnam Veterans Day is March the 30th. There's a thing at the helicopter, it's, I believe it's 6 o'clock.
Union Township.
Been pretty quiet, honestly,
really?
been pretty quiet.
And do we have any people who are being deployed or coming home from deployment?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
sorry. I wish they would come in and report to me.
I wish they would too.
I do.
Sure. We'd be glad to see them here.
My grandson graduated out of Fort Sill, Oklahoma, but he's from Illinois, and he hadn't come home yet.
Yep. So if there is no public participation, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
You,
Yes.
hang on,
Yes.
certainly.
Aye. That concludes our business for today. Thanks for joining us, and God bless.